Let's shift our focus to a skill that every leader and executive needs in today's fast-paced business environment: the power to influence. Are you ready to discover how to create stronger connections and drive meaningful impact through your words and your actions? Up next, we have Unlocking the Power of Your Influence, where LaToya Littles, founder and CEO of multiple ventures, will guide us through the art of purposeful communication, authentic engagement, and strategic influence. With a proven track record of creating multiple income streams and high-converting platforms, she specializes in helping entrepreneurs monetize their knowledge. The stage is all yours, LaToya.
Hi, you guys. Thanks for having me. I'm so nervous, so just bear with me a little bit. This is my first one of these kind. Let's see if I got this right, too. How do I work the... Okay, gotcha. All right, now we're cooking with oil. Okay, so thank you guys so much for having me. My name is LaToya, Billionaire Barbie Littles, and as she said, I specialize in multiple ventures. So I got my origin in hair, and that's kind of where I started, but from there, I've been able to literally unlock the power of my influence, and it's something that you all need to know. I think that everyone has influence, you just may not know you have it, and you may not know that you need it, so that's what we're gonna discuss here today. Okay, so let's get into it. So let me ask you something. How many of you in this room have ever posted content and felt like you deserve more money than what you were making? Exactly. Okay, so be honest. You've been consistent, you've been showing up, you've been building your brand, but the money doesn't match the influence, which is what a lot of people have an issue with. Okay, so it's not a content problem, it's a strategy problem that you actually have. Okay, so the lie we were sold is this. For years we were taught one thing: post more, be consistent, stay visible, and eventually it'll pay off. But let me tell you the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Visibility does not equal profitability. So just going a little bit off script, before I became who I am, I started behind the scenes in reality TV. I've seen countless celebrities, from rappers to athletes to reality TV stars, that have millions of followers, lots of visibility, zero income. So just because you have eyes on you, it doesn't mean it necessarily equals it producing profit. Okay, so you can have 100,000 followers and be broke. You can go viral and still not make $1, because influence without structure is literally just noise. And I don't teach people how to go viral just to look good. I teach people how to go viral and get paid, which is the point. And going off script a little bit there as well, I know you guys have seen 1 million viral posts on Instagram or TikTok with thousands of comments, and usually it's all people doing what? Heckling, probably making fun of the person, or just getting into arguments and debates. So even just going viral is still not enough for it to be profitable. Okay, so backing it up a little bit, let's go into my why and tell you guys a little bit about who I am, where I come from. So I'm a Black woman. I come from Jacksonville, Florida. The neighborhood that I grew up in is one of the most impoverished and violent neighborhoods in the city. Growing up there, it was super tough for me. Constant fights, lots of jealousy and hate, no real success, lots of drama. So me looking around my circumference, I knew very early on that I wanted no parts of that. I literally knew as a little girl, I would not be staying in Jacksonville, Florida. That's what I knew for sure. Okay, so I moved away when I was 20 years old to Atlanta, Georgia. And when I got to Atlanta, it was like Black Hollywood for me. It was literally the first time I had truly seen successful Black people. And that was very, very impactful for me. Specifically women is what I saw. And that's what I wanted. But early on, I took all the wrong words to obtain it. It really took me some time to get to where I'm at. Okay, so in my book, I wrote a book called Fell Into Fortune. It's available on Amazon, Barnes& Noble, and I really go into like a lot of detail of like my story, my redemption, how it happened. I ended up going to prison, and when I came home, it literally changed my whole entire life. Like going through that experience was like nothing else I could describe to you all. And I like, when you go there, like what you don't realize is like people live there. That's where their house is. So you meet some really cool people that are never going to come home. So for me, that was really impactful. And I was like, yeah, I can't do the time, so I can't do the crime anymore. I got to find something else to do, for sure. But to sum it up and make a long story short, I went to prison for 1 year when I was 23 years old. I'm 41 years old now. That changed the trajectory of my entire life. It was my wake-up call, and I felt like it was God sitting me down to literally save my life. When I came home, I vowed to do something completely different and never go that same route again. It was hard at first, but I knew I needed to change my thoughts in order to change my life, so I did just that. I started working on my mindset and my way of thinking. I had always been a believer in Jesus Christ, but during that time, my faith in him increased and strengthened dramatically. And he began to reveal himself to me in ways that I didn't understand before. He also began to reveal his ways to me. And that's when I learned that the law of attraction and manifesting all came from Christ. And I really tapped into that, and that's where the shift happened for me. Okay, so my best friend, who I call my sister, was raised in Hawaii. So for my 27th birthday, she took me there, and I met my ex-husband now. And that really changed my life too. Moving to Hawaii was different. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. So first of all, some people probably will never even make it to Hawaii in their lifetime. But to live there, y'all, it was a different experience for me. It definitely was. And that's where things began to change. So, hang on, guys, 1 second, sorry. Okay, so that's when things for me began to change. So when I got married to him, we moved to Hawaii. I was already talented with hair, so I posted my hair and my daughter's hair and my sister's hair on a Facebook group, and that is where everything started to change. Now, this is where I first learned to unlock the power of my influence. Then I opened a kiosk in a storefront in 2 military malls shortly after. One was on Schofield Army Base. I don't know who has military experience. I know you do, Shanika. But one was on Schofield Army Base, and the other one was on historic Pearl Harbor Hickam. Like, I literally had a store on Pearl Harbor. It was crazy. I put commercials on TV, radio, posted in a ton of Facebook groups. This is before Instagram and Facebook ads and all of that. This is literally like 13 years ago. And that's how I got my successful start. Next up, it was time to move to a different city. When you're military, you have to PCS. You only get 3 years in a certain location. So we PCS to Newport News, and there in Virginia is where I learned how to market not just to the military crowd, but to everyone. So I had a storefront on J. Cloud Morris in Newport News. Then I moved to Hampton, Virginia, to the Coliseum Crossing Shopping Center. And in all of these places, it was always like I'm the first of my kind. First and only like young black small business owner in all of these locations. So that part was really special to me too. And it's how I knew I was on the right path. I created a technique with wigs called Real Scalpolution, Scalpiana, and it went viral. Then I started doing celebrities' hair. I started working on reality TV show sets like Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Hip Hop Squares, the BET Awards, Basketball Wives LA. I got an apartment in Hollywood on the Walk of Fame, and I appeared on season 7 of Basketball Wives LA as a cameo. And from that place there, my influence started to skyrocket. I started doing 1-hour pop-up sales and in-person pop-up sales where I would make anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000 in 1 hour with these hair sales. My most successful sale to date was $217,000 in 3 days, all from marketing on Instagram. So everything was great until it wasn't, because then COVID hit us. And this is where the pivot happened. So this is where I learned how to pivot. So during COVID, the hair quality became terrible. And then honestly, after 10 years, I was burnt out. I literally was over it. I lost my passion for it. And I'm the type of person that if I'm not passionate about it, I can't sell it to you. Like if I don't believe in it anymore, you're going to feel that coming from me. So it was time to switch, but I just didn't know to what. So this is where I started to realize the real power was really in my influence. Then I got introduced to taxes and everything changed. I got introduced to credit and funding and the power of using OPM or other people's money to fund my projects. And since then, my life and bank account has literally never been the same. And it's all due to me unlocking the power of my influence. I had always been a teacher, so I taught my viral hair technique to students all over the world, but the shift made me passionate about helping everyone unlock the power of their influence. This is where I said, okay, I have something here, and I know that I could fit this in several different markets because I've used it in several different markets, and so I started to test that out. And the first person was actually my sister. I said, if I could duplicate the process with you, I could literally take this global. I could duplicate it with anyone, and I was able to do so. So the shift, the influence is that the influence is the new currency. Whether you like to post or you don't, whether you realize you have influence or you don't, the real currency is in you using your power to influence. So we're living in a different economy now. It's not a job economy. It's not even a business economy. We are an attention economy. It's digital and it's attention. And we've seen it. You guys, you've seen big brands close down. Forever 21, Party City, Toys R Us. We've seen big giants close down because they're not unlocking the power of their influence. They're not tapping into the digital scope. So as small business owners, as founders, you guys have to know that if we can watch giants that we grew up with fall, then our business stands no chance if we don't use our influence and we don't, embrace the digital wave that, business is turning into. So the people who understand attention, they control all the money. And just think about it. Think about people that are big on Instagram. Think about people that are big on TikTok, big on YouTube, whether it's brands. I'll even give you guys an example. If you're ever on Instagram, have you ever seen like the brands arguing with each other, like going back and forth? Like you'll see Wendy's and McDonald's arguing. You'll see all of them in the comments sometimes because all of these brands are starting to realize we have to make our voice heard in this digital mass that's going on. So we're seeing it start to turn everywhere. So let me break it down simple. Attention builds trust. Trust creates influence. Influence converts to sales, and sales create wealth. And that's literally my motto. And I just rinse and repeat that over and over again. Okay, so you don't have a money problem, you have an attention strategy problem. So the reason why most people fail is this. Most people in this room, you don't need more followers, you don't need more likes, you don't need to figure out the algorithm no matter how many posts you scroll on that says that. That algorithm is gonna keep changing. What you have to figure out is what type of influence you have, what type of audience you have, and then what does your audience want? You need to solve a problem for them. If you're solution-based and you're solving problems for your audience, then sales are gonna be inevitable. You cannot help but to make sales if you're solving a real problem. But most people don't know who their audience is. They don't even know they have power and influence, and they don't know what their audience needs. So you have to do your market research to figure these things out, and sales is just a natural flow of things that will come behind you knowing this information. Okay, so because right now your content is not connected to a system. So it's either this, you don't post at all, which is a lot of people, you don't post at all, or you post but you don't have a clear and concise offer. Or you go viral, but what are you selling? Or people watch you, but what are they buying from you? See, the attention means nothing. The likes, the comments, the views, none of that means anything if you don't convert it into sales. The whole point is to convert it into sales. And the good thing about using social media is that it's a monkey see, monkey do type of platform, meaning there's FOMO all through it. The model is built that way. So if I have 100 people commenting a keyword for my clear and concise offer, the 101 person that's gonna come along, they're gonna wanna comment that as well. So you utilize that. This is the point of all of it. Otherwise, you're getting attention, but you're not getting any money. If you get the attention at all, because it's not an easy thing to get on social media. All right, so if your content doesn't lead to a transaction, you are building an audience for free. And if you don't post at all, then well, if they can't see you, they can't pay you. And it's just really that simple. If they can't see you, there's no way for them to pay you. So just keep that in mind. So my framework, let me show you guys how we fix that. This is the framework I've used to help people double their income in 12 months in any niche. It doesn't matter what niche it is, it's a formula for it. My system, like I said, content, authority, offers, automation, scale, and then rinse and repeat. We don't want to stop doing something that's working, because that's a problem that we see often as well. You'll have something, it works, and then you stop doing the thing that's working. No, keep doing the thing that's working, but just scale it, make sure it's automated, and then rinse and repeat, meaning do it again. Once you have the system set for one business or for one offer, then you're just gonna take that same framework and plug it into your next offer. And everybody should have multiple offers, but we'll go into that in a second as well. So, number one, content. Not random posts, not trends, strategic content that positions you as the solution to a problem. This is where you start to really unlock the power of your influence. When your content is directed, it's just not random. It's just not random food posts or random luxury lifestyle posts or, you at the game with the kids. It's like we can take all of that, but we have to frame it into an offer that makes sense. So strategic content that positions you as the solution. Number two, authority. You don't need to be famous. You need to be trusted. Just like I said, I know tons of people who have millions of followers, but nobody trusts them to pay them a dime. They don't have the authority. So I know accounts that have 300 followers, you guys, 100 followers, but they're making over $100,000 a month on automation every month. The followers don't necessarily equal dollars. You have to learn how to turn those followers into dollars and turn that engagement into transactions. Okay, so people don't buy from who's popular, they buy from who they believe. And how you get them to believe you? Clear and concise offers. Clear and concise directed content. It all has to make sense. And then you have to be consistent with it. This is how you start to build your trust up. And these people will buy from you. You guys will really be surprised too. Some people will watch you for years at something that they want to tap in with you with, but they just want to see if you're going to be consistently doing it. So consistency is also like a major thing. All right, number three, offers. This is where most people mess up. They don't have clear monetizable offers. This is the nucleus of the framework for unlocking the power of your influence. If there is no offer, it doesn't make sense. So if there's no offer, it's like somebody might enjoy the content, they might like it, they might view it, but it's like you're not giving them anything for them to pay you. You're not asking them. You'll be surprised what people will do if you simply just tell them to do it or ask them to do it. So for instance, with me, my framework, like say I have, a speaker, I wanna, do a speaker offer, and I put content out and say it's from this experience, me walking through this hotel, and I clip that up and I put that together as my content. Well, my offer is gonna be led with a keyword. So it's gonna be like, if you wanna get on speaking stages like this, I can help you with that. Comment speaker or DM me speaker and tap in. That's me framing the offer out for you. I don't have to necessarily tell you all the details of it because I need to get you into my funnel. I just need to pique your interest and give you a keyword, and I'm telling you, DM me this word and tap in, comment this word and tap in, and then when you tap in, then we're gonna get you in that funnel, and then we got you forever. We're gonna, hit you over the head with text messages, with emails, and you just build your list up kind of from there. So number four, automation. This is another big thing because once people cross the offer stage, automation in back-end systems is like the thing that keeps your business either a hustle or really turns it into a real business. So if you're still manually responding to everything, you don't have a business, you have a job. And trust me, remember I said I got burnt out with hair? That's because I worked my business as a job. I really was an employee of my own business. And this is where burnout comes from. We all know the saying when they say, if you want something right, you have to do it yourself. No, if you want something done right, you have to delegate it out to someone else. Give that task to someone else. Don't be, so big on holding on and trying to do every single thing in your business because now you're just going to be a slave of your business. Delegate those tasks out, pay someone to do it, work with them. Whenever you're introducing a team, they're going to make mistakes. Work with them through the mistakes, but you delegating those tasks off is how you automate your business. Because if it's not automated, you're just hustling. You're just hustling for your own business at that point. So number 5, scale. Once it converts, we multiply it. Ads, systems, teams. That's how we go from thousands to millions, literally. Like it's a framework. And if you look at the back end of any successful company, especially a self-made company, this is going to be the framework. Once we have something that works, we're going to keep working it. There are some posts on my page from 3 years ago that I still put ad money behind to this day. Like, I could literally go on my page and show you like several posts where they still work, so I don't stop boosting ads on them. I don't stop putting ad spend on them because they still bring in customers like over the course of years. So think about it like this. All right, you guys know the M&M's commercial? The Christmas commercial, we all seen it. You know, they're like seeing Santa Claus and they're like, he does exist, and Santa's like, they do exist. Now, by a show of hands in this room, how many people seen that commercial? The whole entire room almost, exactly. And you've been seeing that commercial probably since you were a little kid, meaning M&M still keeps using that commercial because it works. So why would they change it? It works. We can introduce new commercials and we can introduce new things, but we're still gonna keep running that same thing that works. So you have to think about it like that for your brand as well. If it works, don't stop doing it. You can incorporate new things, but if that ad still works and still brings in business, keep putting spin behind the ad and keep running into the ground. You see McDonald's do it, M&M's, Coca-Cola, and the list goes on and on. All right, and then I already said that, rinse and repeat. So rinse and repeat. When it works, keep doing it. And then now you have the framework and the structure. You're just gonna keep, it's like a present with a different wrapping on it. I'm going to unwrap the same thing though. Inside the box, it's the same framework. So for whatever one of my offers, I'm going to use this same framework. Now, turning influence into multiple streams of income. Now let me show you how I apply this in real life. Now, one of my offers is taxes, but it's several different offers even in that. So Rich Off Taxes University is number one. I have the number one paid tax training community on the school platform. I've helped people go from zero to generating 6 figures in 90 days in real life. This is literally what I do, just by learning how to file taxes and position themselves online. So you guys, when it comes down to taxes and students from that, I literally have people that tell me they've been in the tax industry for 20 years, 30 years, and I'm like, well, I've been in the tax industry for 3 years in July. But the difference is, like, why would someone that's been in it for 20 years or 10 years come to me and I've just been in it for 3 years? It's the strategy, it's the systems, it's the back end, it's the positioning. Because most people in that industry are using word of mouth clientele. I would never rely on word of mouth clientele. People are only as big as their circle of influence. So why would I rely on that for my business? I'm going to rely on putting ad spend behind my business and putting my ads in front of people that are interested in what I'm offering before I ever rely on that. So this is where like the differences come in. Next up is tax services. This is another one of my offers. So personal taxes, we do business taxes, we do payroll taxes. So this is a skill that prints money every single year and all year long. Contrary to what some people think, taxes don't end at April 15th. April 15th is just the deadline for that first quarterly payment for anyone who is not a W-2 employee. Meaning if you don't make W-2 income, you are required to pay quarterly taxes every quarter. So April 15th is just the first cutoff of that deadline, and it ends what we call low income season, or where we're looking to file people who have dependents and get them in and out. But after that, taxes get very complicated, and everybody's individual tax situation is different. So inside this one offer, someone might need, business taxes, but then if they have a corporation, that's a different type of tax return. That's an 1120S or 1120C, versus if they just have an LLC, that's gonna go in their 1040 on a Schedule C. You have payroll taxes. If they have like a team or employees they pay, that's a whole different ballgame with taxes as well. So a million different ways to get paid off taxes. We also have tax planning. That's the one that I forgot to add, but tax planning is a real big one as well, because with tax planning, we're seeing you come in, most of the time people are not paying their taxes. That's the number one problem that we see. So we show you how to strategize and pay less taxes legally. It's called tax avoidance, and it's legal. You guys know there are, 80,000 tax codes, and mostly all of them are trying to tell you how to pay less taxes legally. So that's another offer. All right, credit and funding. This is also fixing your credit, accessing capital, using it to fund your projects. We're talking 50K, 100K, 250K in funding, and this is how you scale fast with OPM, other people's money. Gotta stop using our own money, and we gotta start using these banks' money to fund our projects. Oh, can I go back one? Okay, next up, product brands. Billionaires Hair, that was my initial company. The Star Status Collection is something that I passed on from my initial company to my daughter, which is in hair school at Aveda now. And then Real Scalp Illusion Scalpiana, that was my technique that I created that made me go viral. Okay, so because influence should also create product income. Also, we have digital products, you guys. Ebooks, playbooks, courses, mini courses, coaching, consulting, mentoring. This is how you create success stories and make money in your sleep. Personal and business protection, this is also another big one. Legal Shield is another company that I work with, because what's the point of making money if you're not protecting it and you're not legally protected while doing it? New levels, new doubles. So once you get to a certain income range, you have to protect yourself and protect your assets as well. Now, fun fact, almost every multimillionaire, billionaire has at least 7 streams of income. You shouldn't have only one way to make money. Your influence should pay you from every angle. The real difference. Now, let me tell you where the real transformation happens. The Rich Regardless 10-Figure Club. This is where we build real brands, not just content creators, business owners. I made it a private wealth society because proximity changes literally everything. You get in the right rooms like these, and your income can change almost instantaneously. Content to cash weekends, this is also something that's a part of it. We don't just talk content, we create it. Luxury environments, exotic cars, yachts, but more importantly, we turn that content into cash. So I do weekends where I fly everyone out to experiences and then have videographers and photographers get their content in real time. So they literally have no excuse not to post. And what we did in Miami wasn't just a vibe, we just did one. It was a system. It was very, very, very strategic. So now, you have the power to unlock your influence because you are the creator. Let me say this, and I really want this to land. You're already powerful, you're already influential, you already have what it takes to change your income and change your situation. But the truth is, most people will leave this room and go back to doing the same thing. And nothing will change for them because in order to get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. But there's a small group that hears something different. They don't just hear information, they feel alignment. They realize I've been playing way too small. This is not a pitch. This is a decision for you to make. Are you gonna take your content seriously? Are you gonna take your influence seriously? Are you gonna care enough to do what it takes for you to get to the next level that you say you wanna reach? Because when I leave here, I'm going back to the beautiful, blessed, and curated life that I love. I've literally created from unlocking the power of my influence. But for some of you, you're going back to lives and careers that you are unhappy in. And some of you are going back to lives that you actually hate. And like you guys, we only get one of them. So if you can shift into a place where you do what you want, then you do what you love, then you will never work a day in your life. Like, if you do what you love, it won't be work to you because you love doing it. But if you're waking up doing what you hate for a paycheck, we got to change that. You only get one of these. You don't get to get a do-over. So if you hate what you get up and do every single day, that's going to shape how you deal with people, your interpersonal relationships. I could go on and on and on. So if you feel that shift stirring in your soul and you know you're ready to monetize your influence, build real systems, double your income, and finally operate like the CEO of your own brand, then this is your moment. Don't be the person that never misses an opportunity to miss the opportunity, okay? Tap in. Success loves speed, so tap in where you see the opportunity available for you. Follow me on Instagram, at I am Billionaire Barbie, and tap in. Just comment keyword or DM me keyword CXO, and that's how you can connect with me. And one thing I want you guys to do, I want you guys to repeat after me, and I want you all to say rich off influence on the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3, rich off influence. Okay, guys, thank you.